Hi, Manya. Um, I thought that watching American Promise today was a really thing, relevant film to see and discussion to have, especially in light of having written our own ethnographies. Um, you brought up three questions that I want to reflect on. The first was, how does the social context set up norms that, if violated, become problems or become issues? I don't remember exactly how you said that. And that's a great question in relation to this film and thinking about people who come from outside of that social context, such as Shayon and Idris going into the school that was majority white, and it being outside of the social context that they necessarily knew, though I'm rethinking that now because they did start there at such a young age that they grew up with it. Um, but that it was outside of their sphere at the same time. I guess I haven't completely thought through that, but that's a question I will be thinking about. Um, the other questions were related. What makes something an academic versus a racial or a social experience? And I really liked your um, answer with that, of anything that changes the way you think about things and changes your perspective. I I like that because that doesn't, you think academic and you think in school, but that especially um, I think giving that question to students and uh, having them think about that and realizing that academic experiences don't just happen in school, and that at the same time many of the experiences that do happen in school are more of a social or racial experience. Um, and then in terms of this, you talked about that teachers have to have experience with cultural differences in order to be successful. And you asked the question, how or when or why do you intervene as a teacher with academic or racial experiences, especially as a racial outsider? And this is something I'm honestly nervous about going into a school next year that is, I think, about 65% minorities, 30% African Americans, 25% Latinos, and maybe 25, or then it would be 35 or 40% white. And because I don't have experience in that setting yet, um, and I think the Highland piece and seeing the reactions of the white teachers at the school in the film were, well, frustrating to read them because you think, oh, it's so obvious, but it's a it's a worry I have being a white teacher, going into an environment not full of white students, because obviously I would never be racist intentionally, but to keep in mind that things I do and things I say could be unintentionally or misconstrued that way, is something that I'm nervous about. And so I think having these discussions and opening it up um, to think about what what I can do to just be clear with my students and be open about them, and still keep it a comfortable and safe learning environment for everyone. Is I feel like I don't have the answer to that yet, and